Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So in this video we are going to discuss about the multi-level queue scheduling algorithm. And here the criteria for this algorithm is fixed priority preemptive scheduling algorithm. So in the previous examples we have seen a particular algorithm and we are going to apply the algorithm on a single ready queue, right? So in the each and every algorithm there is a single ready queue only, but in the case of this algorithm there are multiple levels of ready queue, and each ready queue is given certain priority, that is highest priority and least priority, and the process are grouped based on their some properties. The same types of jobs are grouped here to in the each queue. Okay, there are multiple levels of ready queues, and each queue is assigned some set of jobs. Okay, and after all completion of the all process in the higher priority, CPU will go for the least priority queue. So if all the process in the higher priority queue executes, then it will go for the next level priority queue, and it will execute all the process in the next level priority. So it will execute the process in the each and every queue step by step based on the starting from the highest priority to the least priority. The process placed in the bottom level ready queue are suffering from the starvation. So since there are different levels of queues, so after executing the higher priority queues only, the least priority queues are getting the chance to execute. So that's why, so there is a starvation here. So starvation of the least priority queues. So this is the only drawback of this multi-level queue scheduling algorithm. So this will be fixed in the case of the multi-level feedback queue scheduling algorithm. Okay, so here the criteria is a fixed priority preemptive scheduling. So all the queues, all ready queues in the multi-level queue scheduling algorithm will run on the fixed priority preemptive scheduling algorithm. So preemptive means, so it is going to so there will be some interruptions while executing a process. That means there will be some context switching between the process. Okay, so let us see the diagram here. Okay, so here the system process is given the highest priority and the student process is given the least priority. So multi-level queue scheduling algorithm will partition the ready queue into several separate queues here. The process are permanently assigned to the one queue. So generally based on some property of the process such as memory size, process priority, etc. So each queue has its own scheduling algorithm. Here system process is going to execute based on the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. And similarly, interactive process is going to execute based on the SJF algorithm, and batch process is going to execute based on round robin algorithm, and student process are going to execute like that. Each and every queue will be based on a certain algorithm. Okay, and each queue is having the priority over the lower priority queues, hence no process from the least priority queue can run before the higher priority queues. So in this scheduling algorithm, a common division is made between the ready queue of the set of process. For example, in the case of the system process, it is going to execute the system calls and system calls. In the case of the interactive process, it is going to run the application like user playing game, watching a video, editing a document in the case of the, and in the case of the batch process, it is going to batch the jobs from user and submit it to the operating system and collect the result later. And in the case of the student process, it has a set of programs executed by a student, and like this each and every queue is having certain property. So here each ready queue is having its own property. So each ready queue will be having its own priority, and only one ready queue process are allowed to execute here. The process are permanently assigned to a queue. So based on the property, memory size, and process priority or process type. So each queue in this algorithm has its own scheduling algorithm, like for system process FCFS algorithm, and for interactive process SJF algorithm, batch process round robin algorithm, and for student process priority scheduling algorithm. So after a queue completely executes its process, then it allows the other queue for execution. So in this scheduling algorithm, we are actually clustering the process to a particular queue based on its nature and then execute it. So only drawback in this algorithm is ready queue with less priority has to starve until the higher priority queue executes. So here the least priority queue has to, and the least priority process has to starve here. So here the separate queues are maintained for the foreground and background queues. So here the foreground queues are student process and the batch process, and the background process are first come first serve scheduling algorithm and SJF scheduling algorithm. So these are the background process, these are the foreground process. Okay, so here the foreground process are having the more priority than the background process. See, if in the case of the, sorry, so here the, in the case of if the interactive process started running while batch process is running, so batch process will be preempted since it has the least priority. Okay. So if any foreground process entered the ready queue while a background process was running, the batch process would be preempted here. Okay. So here the main drawback of this system is there is starvation of the least priority queues. So this will be overcome in the case of the multi-level feedback queues. So in the case of the multi-level feedback queues, it allows a process to move between the queues. The idea is to separate the process with different CPU timings. So if a process uses too much of the time, it will be moved to the next low priority queue. Okay. A process that waits too long in the lower priority queue may be moved to a higher priority queue. So the main advantage of this algorithm is to prevent the starvation. So this is a multi-level feedback queues, and each and every queue is given certain time quantum. Okay. So here we are following the round robin algorithm for these two things, two queues. So here the time quantum is given as 8 milliseconds and 16 milliseconds. So consider the multi-level feedback queue scheduler with the three queues numbered ready queue 0, 1 and 2. So the scheduler first executes all process in the queue ready queue 0. So only when the ready queue 0 is empty, it will execute the process in the ready queue 1. So similarly, the process in the ready queue 2 will be executed and 1 are empty. If a process wants to execute, then the higher level queues must be empty. A process that arrives for the ready queue 1 will preempt a process in the ready queue 2. A process in ready queue 1 will be preempted by a process arriving for ready queue 0. So a process, so consider this with an example. A process entered the ready queue is put in the ready queue 0. So here we are placing a process P. Okay. So a process in ready queue 0 is given a time quantum of 8 milliseconds. If it doesn't finish, so here it is given the 8 milliseconds for the process P. So if it doesn't finish in within the 8 milliseconds, it is moved to the tail of the ready queue 1. So it is moved to the tail of the ready queue 1. Okay, so the process in the ready queue 1 execute only if the ready queue 0 has no process. So here it is having only one process, right? So that's why the ready queue 1 will start executing. So the process at the head of the ready queue 1 is given in time quantum of 16 milliseconds. The process at the ready queue of the RQ1 is given a time quantum of 16 milliseconds. If it doesn't complete within the time quantum, it is moved to the tail of the ready queue 2 process. Okay, so it will be moved to the, so if a process is not finished in the time quantum 16 milliseconds, then it is moved to the ready queue 2 process. So in ready, so the process in the ready queue 2 are run on a first come first served basis. The process in the ready queue 2 will execute only if the ready queue 0 and 1 both are empty. So the main advantage of this algorithm is a shorter process will complete quickly and a longer process need not to wait much time in the ready queue and will gradually draft downward. So to overcome the drawback of the low scheduling overhead, that is starvation. So in this scheduling, a process is allowed to move among the different queues here. So the process P is moving from the starting from 0 ready queue 0 to 1 and 2. So if a process takes more CPU time, then it is moved to the least priority queue. Similarly, if a process is waiting for a longer time in least priority queue, then similarly, if a process is waiting for a longer time, so in least priority queue, then it is moved to the higher priority queue. Okay. This algorithm is allotted for each queue, and each queue will be having a scheduling algorithm. Okay, the CPU is going to promote or demote a process, so based on the nature of the process. Okay, so if it is taking more time, then it is taken to the least priority queue, and if it is consuming more time, then it is taken to the higher priority queue. So if a process uses the CPU time more, then it is moved to the next low priority queue. Similarly, if a process that is waiting for a longer amount of time in a lower priority queue, it may be moved to a higher priority queue. Okay, so the CPU is going to promote or demote a process based on the nature of the process. So this kind of aging prevents the starvation, that is a main drawback of the multi-level queue scheduling. So this is about the multi-level feedback queues and multi-level queue scheduling algorithm. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you.